Hey everyone, how's it going? Five Finger Shuffle back here with another video. And today what I want to do is talk about Update 4. So as you can see here, we're just finishing up a run of Scenario. We're leveling a few champs here. If you want to see the champs that we're leveling, kind of a sneak peek into what we're doing here, we got some Bombers getting leveled and we got a Wanga being leveled. But we'll talk about that in a minute. So first thing I want to do is talk about the live stream today. Live stream was up at 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. If you happen to miss it, this is what was covered today. There will be another live stream tomorrow at the same time, 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, where Gabby is going to go over all the 5v5 stuff and I think some balance patch notes as well. If you're just here to figure out when the update is going to go live, they said sometime next week. So hopefully sometime soon. This is the first thing they showed in the stream. So these are the new gear sets that are going to be dropped in the new boss. The new boss is going to drop Withering, which we already have in the game. We already have that in Steel Widow Ascended floor, so you may already have some Withering. The difference now is that this Withering might potentially be good on this boss, so we'll have to see. Basically what Withering does, if you don't already know, is every 10th attack inflicts Withering, which essentially, if you've ever played Summoner's War, is like Destroy gear. So it destroys the enemy's max HP. So if the unit does damage based on max HP, then that will reduce the damage dealt. Also, if it's trying to heal, like if it heals for a certain percentage of the max HP, or if it heals like a lot and you're worried it's going to be up to max health, then you could use Withering as well, because then it'll reduce the maximum pool of HP that could be healed. The second set below that is Martial, which is a 4 set where it says periodic basic skill damage increases to 200%. So basically your basic skill will double in damage. It's not every hit, but it doesn't say how often. So for units that do a lot of damage based on their first skill, this will double the damage on that. Now, is that worth putting on there over something like Mortal? I don't think so. Mortal being a 4 set as well, or Brutal. Like Brutal, you get 35% damage on all the skills, times 4 is going to be over the extra 100% you're going to get here. And you're getting it on your ultimate, which tends to be better. So maybe there's a new champ that's going to come out that prioritizes the damage on their basic skill first. I don't know. But I don't really like that Mortal set. Or sorry, that Martial set. I don't really see a use for it as of yet. That being said, I could be completely wrong. I've never played the game with this gear, so I don't know. The third set is Potent, which basically is just a 2 set that increases all damage dealt by that unit by 10%. So that is the very first actual damage dealing set that we have in the game. We have Keen. But in terms of increasing your damage output, this is going to increase your damage output by 10%. You could potentially put it on, like you could put 3 sets of this on, so all 6 slots could be on this, and you could increase your damage by 30%. But we'll have to see kind of how that plays out. I see this being more likely if you have a ton of crit rate or you don't need as much crit rate, you could potentially run a set of Potent as your offset, and so you could go like Mortal and Potent if you wanted to go just crazy damage overall. You would need much higher quality gear though, because you need those crit rate substats instead of Keen, right? Next up is Enduring, which delays damage taken by 50%. So this is interesting. It's a 4 set, but the idea behind it is you could put it on like a squishy damage dealer, and when that swishy damage dealer gets one shot, you could then have, because the damage delayed is by 50%, it allows your healers time to heal. I don't know how this is going to apply or if it's going to be something that's going to be useful, but at least it's a new mechanic and it's something interesting. I have never seen anything like it in any game I've ever played. So we will have to see how that works out. Could potentially be useful in something like Arena, but we're not really sure. And then finally, Stalwart is a 2-set, and it will put a shield on your allies randomly. So again, they didn't give us any details as to how often or what the cooldown will be. But basically, just every once in a while, this set will put a shield on your allies based on your defense. So if you have a defense unit and you have this Stalwart set, it could throw up random shields. So maybe somebody like Camille, this would be really nice on. Or maybe you could put it on a unit and catch people off guard if you don't already have a shield on your arena defense, and they think they have nothing that they have to strip, and then all of a sudden you have this crazy shield on your units that they have to damage through, and they didn't bring a strip with them. So that's definitely possible, but we'll have to see. So that's it for the first screenshot. I swear the rest of them will move a lot faster. The second screenshot we have is the new boss. So here's the new Outer Harbinger boss. This is stage 6, I believe. And just so you know, this team ended up losing stage 6. So I don't know if that gives you any sort of ideas or kind of shows you the difficulty, but it is way harder than Steel Widow. We didn't get to see the gear on these guys, but even still, it's not going to be easy. So the only thing you can tell from this is that, first of all, it's a water boss, but he shields, which the shield is not removable. So it's a legendary shield buff on the boss, and basically he's going to get a shield every 50 times you hit him. So for example, the pirate here is probably a bad decision because his ultimate attacks many times, and that's going to mean the shield will come up sooner than it would otherwise, because you're not breaking the shield. So you want units with really hard hitting single hit attacks, so like the Ink Ninja, like the Bomber, things that are going to hit really hard in there. So the Dark Pirate here could be really good. I really don't like the idea of the Nature Bomber. They brought him, I'm sure, because of the defense break and the attack buff, but that's going to basically make the shield come up more often. So I don't think that's really a good choice in that one. And the second thing is this Blade Bane buff. Or debuff, I guess. So basically what is going to happen is every time you do an attack, so say my Ink Ninja attacks the boss, I'm going to get 1 stack of Blade Bane. I can't remember how long it stays up for. I thought they said 1.5 seconds, but it could be wrong. It could be 2.5 seconds. But it stays up for a certain amount of time, but it also stacks. So say the pirate goes and attacks and does a whole bunch of attacks right away with his ultimate, he's going to instantly get 10 stacks of Blade Bane. When you get 10 stacks, the stacks explode, doing damage and giving you a bunch of debuffs. So basically, as soon as he does his ultimate, he's going to be dead. In the video, he didn't die right away, but I mean, it is level 6 against a 6-star, so he really shouldn't. Or it could just disable him. I don't know what the debuffs are going to be, but using multi-hit attackers is not going to be very good in this boss for that reason. You really want to do as few as possible to try and prevent your team from getting those Blade Bane stacks and having it explode on you, because if it explodes, you're in big trouble. So definitely make sure you stick to those single target attacks, or sorry, single hit attacks. Alright, next up we have an image of, this is like when you load into the screen. I just thought it was a cool picture. So This is the start of the Outer Harbinger boss before the actual fight itself starts. And then this is what it actually looks like inside the fight. So you can see here, he brings up his 2 arms. You can attack the arms separately. From what I understand, you have to kill the arms pretty quickly, because if you don't, you're gonna die. So you want to target those arms first. I think the AI makes your units target the arms first, but again, I've never played it, so I'm not really sure. And then from there, there's also crystals, which you can't. I think maybe beneath the skills here is one of them. But the crystals, if you don't defeat the crystals, they will put withering on your units, which will, like we talked about, decrease your max HP. So if you get withered down to like half health, even if you heal, you're only healing back up to half health. You can't heal past that, which means you have to kill this boss really, really quickly, or be super efficient at killing those crystals. Otherwise, again, you're going to be in trouble. From what I understand, the people who have played the beta version have really, really struggled with it. Like, I think only one person was able to get to level 7, and I can't confirm that. I tried to confirm that, but I didn't hear back from them. Next up, this is just confirming that level 10 is going to be a nature boss. So there's a lot of speculation about this. We already sort of guessed. Since the Steel Widow boss is fire and the Elder Drake boss is water, it only made sense that this one was going to be nature. So this picture just confirms that you will have a nature boss, which means fire units and nature units are going to be the best way to go. So if you have like a fire siege tower or fire ink, anything like that is going to be really, really strong. Or anything element neutral, so light dark units could also be really strong. The next thing they talked about was Guild Wars. So this is the thing that I was most excited about. I'm not too worried about the new boss. There's not too much on there that I think is going to be overly game-changing. I do think that maybe some of those gear sets can catch people off guard in Arena, but we're going to have to find out. But since nobody can do the highest levels yet, I don't think we're going to be seeing those for quite a while. So I don't think anyone really has to be concerned with that too much right away. This, however, is going to be game-changing. So this is going to want you to make sure that you are in a good guild, paying attention, and logging in every day, because these guild wars are going to be starting very, very soon. And the rewards are pretty good. So if you have ever played Summoner's War, you will recognize this format. I don't know if that's good or bad. The fight itself is a lot different though, so don't just log off the video. But the format itself is very, very similar. So let's go to this next picture here. So this looks different, but really it's the exact same thing. So you have all the enemy teams, and basically you come in, you get 3 attacks, and you have to attack 3 of the enemy teams. So it's not live battles, you're not fighting the actual person. The guild you draw will already have their defenses set, so you as a guild can come in, you can look at them and say, okay, cool, like I'm gonna attack this person, this person, this person, and you execute your attacks, and then you're done. Each fight will last for 12 hours, so you have 12 hours to get this red health bar at the top from the far right all the way down to that goal line there, and when you hit it, you've officially won the guild war. So not too bad. You do notice the same sort of point system on these different units. So the one on the bottom right hand corner, bad guy 7, is a +0. And then the guy in the top left-hand corner, bad guy 2, is a +3. So you get, depending on how highly ranked the person is, you will get more of these new shards than you would have if you attacked a lesser ranked person. Just putting it out there, but I know what we did when I played Summoner's War. A lot of guilds set it up so that it was a +6 rule. So basically what you could do is you were allowed to come in and attack any combination of teams, but the the number of the total pluses you could attack was 6. So you could attack a +3, a +3, and a +0. You could attack 3 +2s, or you could attack a +1, a +2, and a +3. That kept people from just farming 3 +3s and taking all the points from all your other team members. That seems to be the standard go-to comp, and I assume in this game, since there's so many Summoners War players here, that's going to be the standard rule, is just don't try and cheat your guildmates out of points, because it's, you know, you want everyone in the guild to have an equal opportunity, and you want it to be fun for everybody. So just because somebody has to attack near the end because maybe they were sleeping or something doesn't mean they should get stuck with all the +0s and get no points, right? And on the other side, you don't want to wait until the Guild War's over and then be like, okay, Guild War's over, I can just attack +3s now because it doesn't matter. So you will have to strategize with your guild. I'm sure all guilds will have different rules, but that seems to be what the standard thought process is going to be. And I know in our guild we already talked about it, and I would assume that's going to be what we end up adopting as well. So from there, the next picture I have for you guys is the getting started screen. So on the right is the 2 teams that the enemy has, and on the left is the 2 teams you're going to attack them with. So it is 3v3, pretty much expected based on other games. There's not really much else to talk about here. You can pick your synergy trait, but it is 3v3 and 2 different battles, and it costs 10 energy per fight, which means you will need 30 energy in order to complete this. The following screen is finally what we look like in the fight. So this is where things get a little bit different. There's a lot of things to go over here. So again, 3v3, but compared to Arena, the one thing that we noticed right away was how close you start to the other team. So in Arena, you start really far apart, and that gives you time to set up your skills, or maybe bring one unit. Say, I know a lot of people in Arena will bring their Greater Demon over to the side and try and get the whole team to attack that Greater Demon while their nukers just kill everybody. That's going to be harder to do in this, because if you bring your Greater Demon over the side, maybe your other units are too close to these units and they just kill your nukers. Like, there's no front line, back line now. It's just 3 people across. So I honestly don't know how that's going to work. Also, at the top, you can see the new bar system. So this is way different than Summoner's War. In Summoner's War, it was turn-based, and you basically just went and took your turn until the other team died. Here, there's a revive system. So this is what is going to take some practice. Being in a revive system, basically you get 9 deaths. So whoever dies 9 times first, the match is over. If you're the team on the left, which in this case we are, they ended up killing the team on the right 9 times, and I think we only died once, which means that the battle was over and you're fine. The trick is you can actually reuse these units. So you could reuse your units over and over and over if you want, unless you die 3 times. Any of your units that die 3 times during the fight are then considered exhausted for the rest of the guild battle. So you won't be able to use them for the remainder of the guild battle, which includes your other, not just this fight, but your other 2 fights as well. So if you think you might lose a unit, you might want to do that fight last. Try and be somewhat strategic about it. But yeah, that makes it kind of interesting. And don't forget, that means you have to get 9 kills on them as well. And basically what's going to happen is every time, say I defeat this enemy, then we go back to that last screenshot and you saw there was health bars on each unit. I can actually show you again. Let me bring that up. So say I win the Guild War, you can see how there's health bars on each unit here. I don't know what percentage it will destroy the enemy, but it won't just kill them outright. So like each person will have to get attacked, say, probably 3 times in order to deplete their entire health bar. And that will, then they'll be dead and nobody else will be able to attack them until the Guild War is over. So you want to be very strategic about, like, first of all, attacking the people with the highest health bars. That's going to be really important. So let's move on to the next one. The other thing in this screenshot that we didn't talk about is at the top here, you can barely see them, but right below the blue health bar, there's like a blue element thing, and then to the right of the right health bar, there's a red one. Now these are actually customizable units that give you buffs and debuffs. So I'm going to bring up this other screen over here. This one. So this is where you can customize your Spirit Guardian. Now you're going to have to unlock these, so you're going to have to win points in order to upgrade different levels, and you'll be able to have different skills. So you can see level 1 has Cleanse, Purge, and Stun. So your Spirit Guardian will occasionally stun the other team, it will cleanse the other team, or it will take buff. Purge, I believe, was taking buffs off the other team. So like a strip. So you get to pick one of these that he will do, and then skill tier 2, you'd be able to do the same thing, and you keep upgrading and you get different skills. So that kind of adds another element to it, in that you can customize your Spirit Guardian to do what you need him to do. I don't know if you'll be able to set him for each individual fight, or if you're only able to set him for each individual guild war, or if you can only set him once a week. I honestly have no idea yet. But that will add another mechanic to it that should make things interesting. So potentially it will look like there's no cleanse on the other team, but maybe your Spirit Guardian could have a cleanse. You'll never know. Well, you will know once you get into the fight. So then what happens next? There's two different setups. One, you get points for each win, and you get points at the end of the war as well. So there's two different types of tokens. So the tokens you get throughout the match, you can use in this shop here. So this stuff all looks pretty standard. Not really a big deal. You can get, I mean, the Super Fuzzlepuff 2 a month. I'm probably never going to buy those. The wild shards, if you are, for example, trying to farm Xenia and you're 5 shards away, this is basically these are 5 shards for any unit you want. So maybe you're 5 shards away from getting your Mai. This, I would assume, will work toward getting your Mai. You could just farm the rest of her. The deluxe shards are the second type of shard that we haven't seen yet, and this is going to be for a limited summoning pool. So again, if you've played Summoner's War, it's the same idea. Every week there will be a different limited summoning pool where there'll be only 3 stars, 4 stars, and 5 stars, but it'll only be those units you can summon from these shards, and you will get pieces from both Blitz and from the weekend rewards from co-op. Or sorry, weekend rewards from Guild Wars are the only places you can get these shards, and you can save them up and use them toward units that you really need. So say for example you've never pulled a Water Magical Girl and you really, really want one. Maybe you save up your shards and try and use it to summon a Water Magical Girl. Now you can barely see it in this picture, but it says Gun Mage. So let me switch it over. Where's that picture? There we go. Gun Mage tokens. So you can see on the far right here as well, there's a new unit. That is the Gun Mage. I don't know why that picture is distorted. It shouldn't be, but yeah, I can't fix it. So you're going to want to be buying these Gun Mage tokens because this Gun Mage is a 5-star. So you're going to have to buy, there are 450 tokens each, and you get 10 pieces for every 450 tokens, and you can buy 2 per week, which means you can get 20 shards toward a Gun Mage every single week. The last shot I have for you guys here is the actual Gun Mage one itself, where you need 100 tokens in order to do it, which means it's going to take you a minimum of 5 weeks of saving, and you can summon one of the nature, fire, or water gun mage units. Now we don't know what those units do yet. It'll be talked about tomorrow, I'm sure, in the dev stream. But that means there is a new unit coming to the game, and this is going to be the only way you can get him. So you cannot summon him. You can only get him from Guild Wars and saving up your tokens, or whatever these little mask tokens are on the bottom left here. And then you can save them and get the Gun Mage gold tokens and then cash them in for an actual Gun Mage once you have enough. So that is it from today's dev stream. I hope that kind of covers everything that they talked about. I don't think I missed anything. But they covered a crazy amount of stuff. Again, I will be doing this video again tomorrow for all the new stuff they're covering, as I know they will probably talk about the Gun Mage. They'll also talk about 5v5 updates and hopefully some sort of balance patch notes. But do expect the patch notes in the next couple of days. If not, then on Monday. And then expect the actual update itself to land next week. So I'm going to get back to my farming here. As you can see, my units are pretty much maxed. We are still grinding this event. Here, we can actually go back here. We are still grinding the event, trying to get those legendary shards every single day. We've gotten them every day so far. So we're up to 500 points so far today. Not too bad. Hopefully I'll see you guys on stream tonight. We will be streaming for a little bit. It won't be a long stream tonight because it is Thanksgiving in the United States. But yeah, we'll see you there. Don't forget to come join us, twitch.tv/5fingershuffle. Have a great day and happy Thanksgiving to everybody down south, and we will see you all next time. Bye, guys.